two, three. Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go. Hey.
Could have been dead sleeping in my grave, but you said no, wouldn't have it that way.
Hi, everybody. My name is Donna Sneed, and I'm the host of Crumbs, which is really a new project that I've decided to step into and to walk into for this new year, just to share some nuggets or some crumbs, if you will. If you know anything about crumbs of anything, if you're baking a cake and that cake is so good, and you notice that in your plate there's some leftover little pieces, some crumbs, and what's so great about that is that the crumbs are made of the same ingredients that the whole cake is made of, and the crumbs are just as good. And I'm bringing just a few crumbs from the scriptures on some of these broadcasts of Crumbs, which is basically daily nuggets for living that will bless you, and I believe they will bless you tremendously. And today's nugget is coming from Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1, and I believe it's going to bless you. And it declares that the wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down. If you know anything about wisdom, you'll understand that the world definitely has a way of its way of wisdom. The world says, get all you can all you get. The world says, get them back before they get you back. The world just has a somewhat tainted way of giving us solutions, but and these solutions that come from the world will get you so far, but then leave you hanging and leave you in greater trouble than you were in before you decided to take on the world's wisdom. But God's wisdom is so good coming through this word. God's wisdom will lead you down a path of righteousness and lead you down a path of love. And this particular scripture talking about this wise woman has a way of bringing increase to her home. She has a way of love, godly love, that adds to instead of tears down. This particular woman who is full of godly wisdom that comes from heaven, according to James chapter 3:17, which says wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure. Oh my goodness, the wisdom that comes from heaven. This is how you know the difference between the wisdom that comes from God and the wisdom that comes from the world. Because God's wisdom is pure. God's wisdom, according to James chapter 3:17, is first of all pure. It's peace loving. This wisdom, this godly wisdom, brings peace. And this wise woman who operates in the wisdom from God operates in her home peacefully. She sometimes recognizes when it's time to hold back, when it's time to be quiet. And I need you to listen here, because we sometimes take meekness as weakness, but we need to understand that weakness is not weakness. It doesn't mean we're weak. Meekness and in the spirit of wisdom and the spirit of love really is a strong character of the wise woman, because she has the ability to hold back when sometimes the situation calls for her to come out. This wise woman has the ability through the Spirit of the Lord to see things further. Sometimes the situation is heated, sometimes it's tense, and calls for another reaction. But this wisdom is considerate, and consideration for those in your family helps you to build to your house, build up on your house, and to build the relationships and make them better, make them greater. And I don't know about you, but I want my life to be better. I want my household to be better. And I want my relationships with my husband, my children, my co-workers, and people around me, my friends, to be greater and better and more fruitful, because according to James chapter 3:17, it is full of mercy and good fruit. And it's impartial. It doesn't take side, but it's impartial, and it's fair, and not only fair but sincere. So Do your best to build on your home. Do your best to be the peacemaker, or to love peace in your house, to be sincere in all that you do. This is Donna Sneed, and I'm coming with you with nuggets for daily living. And I hope that you're having a fabulous
1,
life.
2, 3. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Hey.
Could have been dead sleeping in my grave.